there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And it's been a while since I've done a video. I have been madly working on quilts. For some reason, January to about May is typically quiet with quilts, but I've been swamped and I'm not complaining because the money is good, but um, it hasn't left a lot of time for creativity. But I got playing in my craft room this morning and I thought I'm going to share this card. I saw this online the other day and I just loved it. I just thought this is the cutest card and it's pretty easy to do. And I did the coloring with stencils and I just love stencils and I'm hoping that Stampin' Up! Is going to come out with some new stencils because this one actually is retired. This one is called Enduring Beauty. And it is here somewhere. Yeah, this one here. It's retired now. And I just love a floral with a stencil. Well, I like any stencils, but I super like the florals with a stencil. So that was this one here that I did. And the color on this one is Peach Pie and the new Cantaloupe Crisp, Cantaloupe or Cantaloupe Crisp, whatever that new color is. So, yeah, so that's that color, and I did some gold embossing on the front. And then this one is from Layers of Beauty, which is currently on the last chance list, and that's this one here. So, it's on the last chance. So if you like what you see, I would hop on there and get it sooner than later, because when the last chance stuff is gone, it's like gone. So I'm glad that it's still around though, because I never used to be a floral person. It never used to sort of excite me. But once I got playing with stencils, I just was like, this is it. This is it for me, because I'm not the greatest colorer when it comes to, what do you call it? Like the alcohol markers and stuff. My hood's driving me a little bonkers here. Just a sec. I'm not very good with coloring, like coloring. But I'm reversed in my screen here, so there we go. But when I started playing with stencils, I was like over the moon. I just thought this is the way to go. One thing before we get started, I literally this moment got an email from Stampin' Up! And they are offering double rewards from April 15th to April 17th. So that's today's the 13th, I think. It's not on here. Yeah, today's the 13th. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they are offering double reward points. Two things to keep in mind. You do have to have an account to place your order. And secondly, you need to be opted in to the rewards program. And if you need help with that, please let me know. And also anyone who places an order with me between now and Saturday, I will send you the kit to do this card along with your thank you card. If your order is $60 or more, you will get the kit. If your order is $100 or more, a few things, I will send you the kit plus a package of embellishments. Not sure which ones yet. I have an order coming, so hopefully that order will come. Otherwise, it'll be something that I have here. And so the kit, the embellishments, and you'll be able to buy the product of the month for $7. No, is it still $5? Yeah, it's still $5 to the end of the month in Canada. I believe in May it goes up to $7. So yeah. So don't forget, Wednesday to Friday, it is 2 times the reward points that you can order, which is 10% on any order over $25. So that honkin' deal. All right, let me switch down to my desk and we'll get this card on the go. It does take a bit of doing. My thingy here is crooked. There we go. It's not a hard card. It's just got a lot of pieces to it. So why don't we get started? First thing I'm going to do is I have a sheet of black and I have a sheet of white. So I'm going to cut my basic white into a card base. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to score it at 4 1/4. And for some reason, my little scoring doohickey keeps falling off my... I do have a new one that I can pop in. I know that the little feet get worn off when you use them a lot. And I'm pretty sure that I've just worn the poor thing out. But you can buy new ones if that drives you crazy. Or you can just use your big scoreboard, which I use a lot. If I'm doing like tons of things, I'll use that. So I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. Then I'm going to rotate it halfway and cut it at 5 1/2. And that's going to give me 2 card bases. Now I don't necessarily want 2 card bases. I want one piece to be, well, actually two pieces at 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. Well, let me cut it at 5 because both of them are going to be 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4. And this one has a score down the middle, so I'm going to flip it around. So 3 3/4. So that's going to be the front of the card and the inside of the card as well. And then, so I've got my card base and my 2 pieces for the front. And then for my basic black, I need 2 pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. And I need another one that's 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Then next, so I've got my pieces here. So next I'm going to take a piece of the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. And it comes, you get 12 sheets and they're 5 by 7. So I'm going to take one and I'm going to cut it into 1-inch strips. So I'm just going to line it up on my cutting plate here. I'm going to use the one on this side because it's easier for me just to run my blade if I have something to hold on to. So let me go ahead and I'm going to cut that at 1. And another one at 1. Actually, I'm going to cut a bunch of them. And I've done that. Where's my package? I've cut a bunch of them into strips already because I use them for masking sometimes. So I'm going to cut this at 1. And 1. So you're going to need 2 of these strips. So I moved my mouse, I guess. I'm going to be using the layer of Beauty because it's still available. Again, it's on the last chance list. So if you like this, yeah, check it out. And then what do I need next? I need my positioner. So I've got my Stampin' Positioner here. And optionally, you can buy this pad of paper with the holes in it. Now this will be available on I believe it's May the 5th. It's going to be available for general purchase. So just a couple more weeks. It's in the new catalog, I believe. So pretty soon it'll be available for general consumption. I love it. I think it's great. So I'm going to take one of my card bases and I'm just going to position it right here. And I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to use red so you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'm not sure if I can or not. I'm trying a new camera option, so let's see. Let me see if I can. Ah, look at that, would ya? Is that enough? Yeah, I think so. All right, let me go back. Cool. So let me fix my camera so that it's down a little further. All right, so I'm going to, yeah, I want to be here. So I'm just going to mark on here where my corners are. For when because I'm going to flip it. So you can see here I've marked with red pen just so that I know where to put it. So I've got my two strips of what do you call this? Masking paper. Yes, that's what you call it, masking paper. And I'm just putting it on my sweater to make it not super sticky. And I'm just gonna, actually, I think I'll just use one. I was using 1/2-inch strips when I did the other one, and I did, I think I'll go like that. I was using 1/2-inch strips when I did the other card, and I used 2, so I'm just gonna use 1. I think that'll be fine. And then let's grab our stamp. Now, this is a new one. I do have 2 of these. Oh, the other one. I don't want to use up the new one because I'm probably going to sell it. So I've got one that I've used quite a bit. Same stamp set, but for some reason I ordered 2 of them. Don't ask me why, but I did. So here is this. You can see it's well loved. well loved. So I'm gonna place this kind of like this. Now I don't want it to go over this part, so I'm gonna grab a sticky note and I'm gonna just pop that right here so that I don't inadvertently go over onto my card. So let's see, probably about like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna take my plate, and this just goes straight down. These 2 holes will sit on these 2 squishy things. I'm gonna move this over here so that it's not in the way. There. So I'm just gonna press down and pick up my stamp. And hopefully not lift that. And it's well taped down, so you know that's not a problem. And then I'm gonna take my gray granite ink, and I'm going to ink this up. And then just flip it over and stamp the top. Now, if you're not used to why you need a positioner for this, you don't. It's just easier. For me, I use a positioner 90% of the time. Because if you ever had to go back over it, a positioner, like you can see here, I didn't stamp very well. I can just lay this right back down and press just in that area, and it's going to pick up the ink. Beautiful. The ink that I missed. So now I want to rotate this so that I can get this side. So I'm going to lift up my tape. You don't have to do it this way either. I'm going to line it up. But what you can do is just use a block and then just stamp on one side and then rotate your stamp and stamp on the other side. But I kind of liked the fact that I could go over it with my positioner if I needed to. So I don't think it's going to go over this tape, but just in case, I'm going to pop down my Post-it note, grab my ink, just re-ink it, get my cuffs out of the way. And then press down. Beauty. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to pop my paper off, excuse me, off of my platform. And I'm just going to give this a little bit of a clean so that I don't transfer ink onto anything should something get near it. Because that would be really not a good thing. So let me just clean it. Now this chamois, this is the chamois that comes with the glass mat. But if you don't have the glass mat, the other chamois is this one here, the purple one. Mine is well used, you can see. And it is still available. And then also, what I really like for once in a while, when I had red rubber stamps mostly, I used this tool all the time. But it is now on the last chance list. Oh, I can't even find it. I must have put it somewhere safe. Anyway, it's on the last chance. So if you know what the Stampin' Scrub is, it's got little bristles, and I use it like every like fourth or fifth time that I use it, you start to get a little bit of ink buildup in the little nooks and crannies of a really detailed stamp. And I'll put this on a block and give it a really good cleaning with the Stampin' Mist and my Stampin' Scrub, and just really get into all those nooks and crannies and give it a good clean. So that thing is on the last chance list, so you might want to check that out as well. So let me put this aside, and I'm going to dig out my stencils. So the stencils were bundled with the dies. So here are the dies. So you have a large die for your image, for your floral image, and then you have smaller dies to cut out parts of the stamped image, plus some leaves and a little tag. Kind of cute. I'm not going to use any dies today, although you could cut out some of the leaves to embellish around the card when you're finished. I didn't feel like it was necessary, but you absolutely can do that. So I've got my stencils. There are 5 stencils, and that is part of the bundle with the dies. So I'm going to start with stencil number 1. Where are we? What's number 2? Number 1. So you can see, I don't know if you can see it yet, there's a number 1 in the corner, and it's got this notch which helps you place it. So what I did when I was doing this is because I stamped it upside down, I had to rotate it a few times to figure out where my flowers were. Oh, look at that. Did it right away. Last time I did this, it took me a few minutes. And so there is where my stencil number 1 needs to go. So I'm just going to grab some masking tape here, and I'm just going to put it, make sure it's where I want it. And I'm just going to tape it right to my grid paper. So let's make sure that that rose is going to be right where it needs to be. And oh my gosh, it's going to say something, and now I don't remember what it was. I tell ya. So this time I'm going to go ahead and use Pool Party. I just want to make sure that my brush doesn't have any other color on it, because when I use like this color of brush, I'll use this brush for anything in the teal family. I just brush off the excess in between. So I'm going to load up on Pool Party, and I'm just going to dab off the extra because I don't want to have a big blobby. Sometimes when you start, you're going to get a big blob. Also, I don't want to do these little flowers here. I just want to do the roses in the blue. So let me grab another Post-it note that I can cover up my flowers. All right, so I'm going to go in this first layer with a really light hand. And I was talking to my girlfriend today. I showed her my sample cards, and she said, "Oh, you're so good at coloring." And I'm like, "I'm not. This is a stencil. This makes my life so easy." So as you can see, I'm going in with a really, really light hand because I'm going to use the same color, Pool Party, for the entire, all the shading. And so when you do that, you will get variations of color because you're layering color upon color. So let me go ahead and do this little guy. And this shows that it should be the same color, but I think I'm going to do that in green. So let me grab my lemon lime twist. I want to do these 3 little doodads in green. So I've got my green brush here, and I did use some Granny Apple green on it. So let me just clean it. Gee, I can't believe I can't remember what I was going to tell you. I don't know. Oh, this thing moved. Dang. Okay, let me see if I can get it back. There we go. So come on, you guys. There. So these little 3 guys I'm going to do in green because I think they're kind of like buds. I wonder if I need to do any other buds. No. No. Oh, no, I don't think so. All right. So these 3 little buds are getting done in green. So I did those in lemon lime twist. And then these little flowers I'm going to do in yellow. So let me, this keeps moving on me here. I think I need a bigger piece of tape. It's not cooperating. Stay put, you guys. All right. So I'm going to block off these 2 flowers. And I'm going to go in with my yellow. Now I've got a pretty big brush here, and I'm pretty sure that I should go grab a smaller one, but let's see how it goes. And then if I do need to get a smaller one, I will. So this is Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to go in and do these little flowers here. And I'm just going in lightly. Oops. Okay, and I need to do these 2 over here as well. There. Okay, so there's stencil number 1. I'm going to keep the Pool Party out because I will be using it on the next one as well. Now, stencil number 2 is the rose. Now, let's see. I should have figured out. Like this. I should have marked. Let me get that first stencil back again. And I'm going to line up these little flowers. And then I'm going to, because that's something so obvious, you know. There, and I can see that it shifted here, so I'm going to fill that in with yellow. But what I'm going to do is I am going to mark that notch and draw a line. So that I know where the next stencil is going to go, because I can sit here and turn this stencil around 50 times before I figure out where it actually goes. So I'm going to line up my notch that I drew. And there, beautiful. And I'm going to get better tape because this is not holding. So I just have some yellow masking tape here. So let me put this down. This looks pretty good. All right, so the next one, again, I'm just going to use Pool Party, but I'm adding another layer, so it's going to go darker a little bit. So I'm still not going to be heavy-handed. I'm just going to add a second layer of the Pool Party. And again, I'm going to avoid my yellow flowers because I'm going to go in with a second layer of yellow on those guys. But you can see I'm not being heavy-handed at all. Oops. I'm just adding a little bit more color. I'm still being very light-handed. All right, so I will add a little bit more green. I probably have enough green on my brush to add a little bit of green there. And then the yellow, I will just grab a bit more yellow. Got my masking paper here. And I just don't want to get any yellow where my Pool Party is. Okay, so there is stencil number 2. Super, super, super easy. So I'm really hoping that Stampin' Up! Is going to come out with more stencils in the future because I love them. To me, it just takes all the guessing out of coloring because I am not particularly good at coloring with the blends. That's number 4. Oh, is that number 3? It is indeed number 3. Oops. Can you see? Yeah, there you go, number 3. So again, I'm going to line up my notch over here like this, and my corner. Then I've got a couple of little guidelines here because I've got the center of the flower here and here. So let me go ahead and tape that down. And tape that down. Now I'm debating about grabbing a different color for the center of these little flowers. I may, let me think about it. So I'm loading up the Pool Party again. I feel like my focus changed. Maybe not. Maybe it's me. So I'm adding again one more layer of the Pool Party. And you can see the color is really building up. Really building up. Like when I did this one, it's all just Daffodil Delight. Every color is Daffodil Delight, except for this flower here. And I used, what did I use? I think that's the new cantaloupe, crisp cantaloupe. So you'll notice that whenever I pick up color, I always kind of tap it because I don't want that blob. There we go. Look at that. Oh, I need to do the center of my flowers. So what will I use? Let me see. What's on here? Whatever's on here is kind of an orange. I have a feeling it's that cantaloupe. No, I don't think it's oh, it might be. So let me just go right in here. And I'm just using what's on the brush. Now I am picking up a bit of the blue, but that's okay. I'm just going to wipe it off on my cloth. These are just dishcloths. I think they're baby face cloths actually that I got on Amazon, and I really like them because they're lint free. Now that's not to say they're not picking up cat hair, because trust me, they probably are. I do have 2 cats that shed like mad, especially right now with the warmer weather. They're both hair machines. And I do mean hair machines. especially Roxy. She's a long hair tuxedo cat. Oh, the hair coming off that girl, let me tell you. Okay, so stencil number 4. Oh, so you can see all the different layers that you get, and it's only one color. It's all Pool Party, but I just keep piling color upon color. So it looks superb. Now I need number 4. That's number 5. Number 4. So again, I'm going to line up my notch like these and my corner, and then I'll just tweak it where I need to here to make sure it's exactly where I need it to be, because we know it's shifted there. Okay, so I got to tell you about a new show that I started watching. My girlfriend was telling me about this show called 99, no, Beat 99 or something like that. Anyway, 99 to beat, I think. Not sure. I think it's 99 to beat. Anyway, it's a game show. And it's on quite late, so I don't usually watch TV past 10:30, 10 or 10:30. I go to bed, I listen to my book, and off I go. So for some reason the other night I was up later. I think it was Saturday night, and it was on at like 11 o'clock, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to watch that. I go to bed. Anyway, we got watching it, and it's really, really fun. Like, I don't like reality TV or those game shows where, you know, everybody's against everybody. And to me, those shows just bring out the worst in people. And I can't watch them. They just get me all stressed out. But this one was actually fun, and people, it was like being at a 4th of July picnic or whatever. Like, they were doing who can dismantle a little tent and have it put away in the package zipped up the quickest, you know. And they start with 100 people, and then I think right now they're down to like 22 or 20, something like that. So it's really, really, really a fun show, like good spirited fun, even though it's a competition. And that's the kind of game shows I can watch. And I said to my husband the other day, you know, you're getting old when we've started watching Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy every single night, like two old people. Well, I guess we're older. Like we're both, I'll be 72 this month, and he was 72 in February. So we are, you know, we're up there. But I said to him, you know, you're getting old when Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy is your nightly. Anywho. There, so there's my first layer of a lemon lime twist. I didn't actually like this color when it first came out. I thought it was kind of like too lemon limey, but I like it. Oh, am I going to change to Granny Apple? We'll see. So I'm going to flip to the next one. No, you know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit of color at the bottom of the leaves. So just a bit extra color at the bottom of the leaves here. Now, if you do have smaller blending brushes, I know that if you bought there was a kit around Christmas time, a great big one, huge kit. And it had a smaller blending brush in it. So if you were lucky enough to get one of those, I did not. Now I do have some smaller blending brushes, but we don't sell them, so I don't show them. But if you were lucky enough to get one of those little blending brushes with your Christmas class kit, certainly give that a clean and use that just to get near the bottom. But this works fine. You can see I'm just adding a bit of extra color along the bottom of the leaves here. I can hear one of the cats is pawing at the door. She wants to get in. So you can see here just that little bit of extra green at the bottom gives it a bit of dimension, right? So I could leave these leaves just like this, and I think they're perfectly fine. But there is another stencil, so let's bring that one in. And again, I'm just going to use Lemon Lime Twist. Sometimes I do go in with the Granny Apple Green, but I don't want to go too dark because I just find that this is just so pretty the way it is. So once again, I'm lining up my little notch there, and I'm going to line up my leaves, and then I'm going to tape this down. Come on. All right. I got some glitter on my stencil there. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go in with Lemon Lime Twist. And again, I'm not going to be heavy-handed. I'm just going to add one more layer that's going to give it a bit more dimension. And I want to be light-handed because I still want you to see that depth that I put in from going in at the bottom of the leaf. But this will just give it a little bit more of, just one more little, you know, something. So cute. Oh, look at it. I'm happy. Love it, love it. Okay, now I'm going to rotate this. And we are going to line up stencil number 1. And it's probably going to be exactly the opposite. So let's have a look. Or not. Let me think about this for a minute. Let's have a look. Where are my roses? So if this went like this, and then we rotated it this way, so this should be like this. Would one not think? Oh yeah, here are those 3 guys. So let's line those guys up. There we go. Ta-da! Yeah. So if you look for a point of origin, I looked for these 3 little fellas there, and that's right there. So let's line these guys up. Is this stencil number 1? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, so let's line these guys up. Beautiful. Just gonna grab my tape. All right. Okay, so color number 1, Pool Party. So here's my brush. I'm going to load it up. So same as last time, I'm going to be very light-handed with it. And I don't want to get my flowers. I just want to get these roses. So I was pretty bummed out because last month I did not go to on stage in Long Beach, California, and I was totally bummed out. That's the first time that I haven't been to on stage in like 8 years. And I was really, I know, should I go? Should I not go? Anyway, I chose not to go because I didn't want to deal with any shenanigans at the border. Not that I have anything to be shenanigan about, but I just, you know what, I'm too old for that crap. So I decided not to go. But in the beginning of the year, our, oh, I'm going to do these yellow things. our Ontario or our Canadian manager announced that they were having a Canadian event this month in a couple of weeks, and that Sarah Douglas, who is the CEO of Stampin' Up, is going to be there. So my girlfriend and I decided that we were going to go. So we're looking forward to that. It's in Montreal. And really, really looking forward to it. All right, so I'm going to do these little green guys. So there will be ooh, gotta be careful here. There will be demonstrators there from all over Canada. So hopefully I'll see some of the ladies that I met at On Stage over the last couple of years from across North America. So that'll be kind of fun. All right, so that is layer number 1. We'll salvage our tape. So number 2, is that number 2? It is. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I did not. Oh yeah, here's my 3 guys. Okay. I should have marked where this is going to go. So let me do that. So my notch is here. And my corner is here. That'll just help a little bit. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's get this on here like this. So I met Sarah last year. We were in, where were we last year? North Carolina. And she is the most lovely, down-to-earth person you'd ever want to meet. She's just so humble. You wouldn't believe that she's the CEO of a huge company like Stampin' Up. She's just so cool. All right, I'm going to start with Pool Party again. And again, I'm going to keep a light hand, but I'm just adding an extra layer. So I'm starting on my stencil because I don't want to blob. And I'm careful not to get into my yellow flowers. I was a little bit oblivious there for a second, and I thought, oh no, those are yellow. Almost went right over them. Okay. Still light hand. Now I'm going to go back in with the yellow. And again, a light hand. I'm just giving another layer here. Yeah, so don't forget, if you want to put in an order this week, wait until Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday so that you can get double the rewards points, because it's 10% on $25. So if you spent $100, normally you would get $10. You're going to get 20, and you can use them whenever you want. In fact, when I was doing my pre-order, as a demonstrator, we get to pre-order things from upcoming catalogs and stuff. I actually used my points, my reward points, to order. I got my inks free, and I got my Stampin' Positioner free, just with money that I had earned from previous orders. So money's there, you might as well take it. Oh, look at this, you guys. How pretty is that? Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. All right, so now we're ready for stencil number 3 again. Come to me. So stencil number 3 goes like this. Well, that was smart. I wish I had done that before instead of trying to figure out where the heck everything goes. Draw my little corners and my notch. And I'm lining up these two circles and these two circles as my reference to make sure I'm straight. And again, you don't have to tape them down, but you know what? It makes it so much easier so that you can not worry about things shifting when you're... Ooh, I got that sitting right in the ink. That is not good. Okay. All right. Okay, more pool party. Gonna go in a little heavier this time. Well, not heavier, just another layer. I think pool party is probably one of my favorite colors. I use it for a lot of things. And, oh yeah, I used what was left on this brush for the centers of these flowers. I may have to go and grab some ink, but we'll see what I have on here. I think that's going to be okay. Not very dark, but that's all right. Okay. So did we get everything? I believe we have. All right, so now stencil number... That was number 3. So number 4. So line up your notch and then tweak it. There we go. Okay, so lemon lime twist. Dab off the blobs, and again I'm going to go in with a light hand. There we go. So again, I'm just going to go in a little bit heavier at the bottom of the leaf. Oh, that looks so pretty. I love it. Love it. There we go. There. So pretty. Oh, look. Ah, that is so pretty. Okay, and then last but not least, number 5. So again, I'm going to line up my corner and my notch and then tweak it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if you have placed an order with me in the last 6 months, you will be receiving, you may already have it, and if you have, maybe if one of you could email me and just let me know that you did get it. I took advantage of the automatic shipping of the catalogs. So if you placed an order with me prior to April 1st, but in the last 6 months prior to that, you should be receiving your catalog any day now. The new mini. And it is the best catalog by far that they've had probably in the last at least 3 or 4 years. It's comprehensive, it's easy to maneuver. They kind of went back to the old style of catalog, but it's a lot smaller. So they're doing 3 catalogs a year now instead of one big one and a bunch of minis. So I'm really happy about that, but I absolutely love the way that they have it laid out. It's just so easy to maneuver. I love it. And the pictures are great, and you're not searching for things. They have, all the papers are together, all the stamps and bundles are together. Like, it's really super sweet. Okay, am I finished? I think we're finished. Ooh, look at this. We are done. All right, let's clean this up a bit before we end up with ink transfer, which you never want. And pool party. Okie doke. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I am going to clean my stencils so that I don't get ink. Let me just grab a piece of scrap paper here so that I don't get ink transferred anywhere. We don't need this tape anymore. Let me grab my alcohol. So I just have this little bottle that I got at Sally's Beauty for, I think, $2. And I have my little cloth, and I'm just using rubbing alcohol. So you don't need a lot. You just need to moisten the ink. And you never want to use alcohol on your photopolymer stamps. That will dehydrate them and ruin your stamps, and you don't want to do that. But it's okay to do it on your stencils because they're kind of an acetate. A little bit of alcohol is not going to hurt them. And I'm just using rubbing alcohol from the dollar store. I think it's 70%, something like that. Yeah, so to clean your stamps, if you're new to stamping, you just use water. And if you find that the photopolymer stamps aren't sticking to your blocks anymore, just give them a really good clean with some soap and water. It just means that there's a lot of lint and dust and probably cat hair if you live around me on the back of your stamps, and it's just not sticking. But once you wash that off and get them all clean, then that sticky, because of the nature of the photopolymer, it will just come right back. Sticky, sticky. All right, so we are done with the stencils. So let's bring our project back in. And now I'm going to release this paper. Now, what I'm going to do though, is you can see I have it folded right back on itself. I'm just going to very slowly pull it back off, because if I was to pull it straight up, there's a good chance I could tear my paper, and I don't want to do that. Ta-da. Okay, beautiful. Now, you could reuse that if you wanted to, but there's an awful lot of ink on it, and really, it's so inexpensive, you kind of don't need to do that. But look at that. How pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp a sentiment right across here. Now you have 2 options here. I'm going to do some heat embossing. Now on these 2 I did it in gold, which is really pretty. On this one I'm going to do it in black, but I'm not going to use black embossing powder. I struggle with black embossing powder, and I end up with little black freckles all over the place, which makes me crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it in black. Then I'm going to go over it again with the Versamark and put the clear embossing. Is this clear? Yeah. The clear gloss embossing powder on top of the black. And so you get that black embossed look without getting black freckles everywhere. because that drives me bonkers. Bonkus. All right, so let's take this off of here. Now, did I clean this? I don't remember. I'll just give it a quick, just in case I didn't. So I'm using the Stampin' Mist. I love the smell of this. It's a little bit perfumey, and I do have a problem with scents, but for some reason this doesn't bother me. All right, so I've got the ink off of there. Let me just pop that right back over here. And then let's decide, let's move that out of the packaging here. Let's decide what we want. Let's do You Make My Heart Smile. So, is anybody else noticing that this past month for allergies has been an absolute nightmare? Holy Dinah. I guess with all the snow mold, and it has been just really like damp, really super, super damp. All right, I'm going to tape this back down. And I still have it back where in the two little marks, it doesn't need to be there, but I figure those marks are there, I'm going to use them. So I'm going to tape this down here so that it doesn't shift on me. And then I'm going to put this in the middle, and hopefully it's centered top and bottom. Now I'm going to pick it up with my plate. Now if you wanted to, you could put your card up. Well, here, let's do that just so I can show you. Let's move this. But I'm a little bit worried that it may shift. So if you look on here, you see that triangle right there? That is a placement for your cards. So if you put your card in there, this is not probably going to work because I wanted to use my, where is it? My little thing. That's not going to pick it up. No. So never mind. You know what we're going to do it the way I was going to do it before. So let's, I'll put this on here. And like this. Okay, so let's center that in here. That looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to pick it up with my plate. And I'm going to use, now I haven't used this new basic black hybrid ink yet, so let's give it a try. Now this is a linen base, it's not sponge. My stamp is well seasoned because I've used it like a lot. This set, this is one of my favorite sets, so I do use it a lot. All right, so I'm going to line it up, and you can see the stamp is not touching the paper yet. The stamp won't touch it until I press down. And I would like it darker. Like, to me, that just looks a little bit, it's pretty good, but it could be better. So I'm gonna just ink this back up. I'm a double stamper at the best of times. I always do, I like it really dark. once more. But you can see with this positioner, like if I was using a block, I'm not going to get the same coverage as if I was using a positioner, because I can go over it as many times as I want until I get the darkness that I want. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to clean this. I'm really going to clean it because I'm going to be using my Versamark, and I don't want to get black in my Versamark. So I'm going to give it a really good clean with this spray. You can use water. You don't have to use the Stampin' spray. And then I'm going to use Versamark. So the Versamark is a watercolor ink. You can see I do have some color in there, but... And I'm going to go right over the black with the Versamark. Now there's probably a good chance, because this is a hybrid ink, I probably could have put the clear right over it, but I haven't experimented with it, so I don't know. So I'm going to go over it with my Versamark, and it's already lined up, so I'm just going to go over it. Add the Versamark. Maybe I'll do it a second time, because you want your letters to be very sticky. So Versamark can be used as a watercolor ink, meaning you can do a tone on tone just using that ink, or you can use it for stenciling, or not stenciling, for embossing. You can use it for a number of things. All right, so I have this all ready to go, and I've got my clear embossing powder. So I'm going to just sprinkle that right on here. Cover up my Versamark. I don't want to get any powder on that. And then I should have taken my tape off before, but I didn't. Oopsie. That's all I need. It's just spread embossing powder all over the place. All right, so that's sitting on there. And because it's clear, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I didn't use my embossing buddy. So there is embossing powder all over this, but it's clear, so who cares? But I should have used my embossing buddy first so that I don't have little shivers of sparkle everywhere. So I've got my heat tool. Ooh, get this out of here because I don't want it melting. And I'm just going to can't believe I didn't do the embossing buddy first. Oof. Oh, that looks so nice. Very, very nice. Okay, now look at that. See the shine? So pretty. I love it. All right, let's get this powder back in the bottle. Okay, so that's our embossing. Now I'm going to, this is going to sit on top of here, but I also want to have 2 little strips of black on here. So let me grab my trimmer. And that other piece of black cardstock is here somewhere. Yes. So I'm going to cut this in half at 5.5. And I'm going to cut a 1/8 inch strip, Well, actually, I'm going to cut 2 of them. So I'm lining it up with the 1/8 inch mark right there. So there's 1. And there's 2. Okay. And then just grab I can feel embossing powder all over the place here. Okay. So what do? Am I going to glue this on first? Or am I going to glue these on first? Not that it's going to matter because honestly, you're not going to see them. So let's go ahead and glue this down. Let me grab my glue. So still has 1 eyeball from when Isla was here. She put eyeballs on my little glue bottle. She's so funny. So I just take the Tombow multi-purpose glue and I stick it in one of these little bottles for when I need a little tiny line of ink. So let me grab my silicone mat because the glue will not stick to the silicone mat. So I'm going to just follow this line right here with a very fine line of glue. My head in the way a little bit. There. So there's one side, and I'm just going to lay this right down on there. Okay, and then we'll do the other side. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's crooked. Hold on. There we go. That's better. So pretty. Okay, and I just need to snip off these 2 little ends here. Okay. My papers are sticking to me. Okay, and then this is going to get glued onto here like this. I need to refill my glue bottle. Now this is a little bit warped from the heat, so I'm going to use a little bit more glue than I normally would. But you don't want to saturate your glue on the back because it will, you know, it might bubble your paper, which won't be pretty. So let's center that right on here. There we go. Oh, so pretty. And I've got my card base. It's an A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm just lining up my edges. Grab a bone folder. Okay, and then this, oops, down you go. And then this is just going to sit right on top of here. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. Okay. Beautiful. Now for me, no card is complete without Wink of Stella. So let me grab, some of these are getting close to empty. Now what I should have done, and I totally forgot, is to splatter splatter on my card. Before I did this part, and while I still had the masking tape on, I love to splatter a card, and it's not for everybody. Like this one I splattered, although you can't really see it. You can kind of see it. A few little splatters of Wink of Stella on there, and it just gives it a little bit of glitter. But I will definitely go in and put some Wink of Stella on the flowers because I love the Wink of Stella. So let's grab some Wink of Stella. Now these are getting older. I don't know how much Wink is still left in them. That one has quite a bit, so I can actually, dare I should put a piece of paper under to splatter. So I'm just giving it a bit of a squeeze, and then I'm just so you can see a bit of shimmer in there. But I may just go ahead and maybe I'll just do the little yellow flowers. But I think most of the glimmer has gone out, gone out of this pen. So let me do it this way. Now this is alcohol based, so it's going to dry quickly and leave the glimmer behind. Oof, big blob there. But it does dry clear, so that's okay. Where am I going here? There. So you can just see the shimmer on those yellow flowers. So pretty. All right. So let's clean this up so we don't get it all over everything. And I have, now unfortunately, both of these gems are retired, but if you have them, I was looking for black matte dots. Oh, my screen just froze. Oh, there we go. Are we back? I think so. Yeah. Okay. So this one is called the Classic Matte Dots, and it's got Very Vanilla, white, and black. Now these are retired, but I had a couple of packages of them. So I thought, oh no, I had one part package left. And then I have these guys, the neutral matte dots, which also have black, Very Vanilla, and crumb cake in them, and white. There's white underneath there. But there are some new neutrals in the catalog, but which I haven't ordered yet. I don't think I did. I might have, but I don't have them. They're not here yet. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm using, oh, I only have 6 black ones left. I'm going to use them. I like them. Okay, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and pick up a dot. Let's fix my putty here. It's misbehaving. All right. Come to me. Here we go. Where will I put these? Let's see. Maybe I'll just put 3 across. No, I think I'm going to spread them around. I'm going to put one up here. Put a big one here. Might as well use them all up. I'm going to put a big one over here. And let's see, one more. Okay, maybe over There. I don't like this one. I'm going to move this guy. Put him here. There. Yeah, I like that better. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And I do have one left, so I'm going to use it. Should I put it there? Or there. There, beauty. Okay, so next I'm going to, oh, I can't believe I have no more black ones. Good thing I have that other pack. For the inside, okay, so for the inside, I have a basic black, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and a basic white, which is 3 3/4 by 5. So what I'm going to do with that is, what will I do with that? Let's see. Okay, let's grab the positioner again. And put my paper back on here. There we go. Covered in embossing powder. All right, so let's see. Why don't we pop this same place? Why not? And I've got these two little pieces of tape on my desk. They don't hold very well, but they'll do for what we're doing. Oh, I don't want that there. I'm going to put that over here. All right, so if we put this like this, maybe like that, and then we can put grateful for you here, but I'm going to do that secondary because I want to have this flower in gray. So let's pick it up. There, okay, and I'm going to grab my basic gray, which is somewhere. All right. And I'm just going to stamp it along the edge of that card. Like that. Now, I probably could have had it, I think I thought it was going to be a little bit, I'm going to flip this over because I think I want it just a little bit more, a little more. It's the beauty of paper is that it has two sides. Okay, so I'm going to clean this off. This isn't the best cleaning job I've ever done, but make sure there's no ink on there. Okay, I'm going to do it more like this. Just a little bit more than the little bit that was there, I think. Again, it's only paper, right? If you don't like it, you can change it. All right, so let's pick it up. Go back in with the basic gray. Is this basic gray? Gray granite. Gray granite's a little bit lighter than basic gray, I think. And I don't want a heavy outline, but I do want a complete outline. So see the beauty of the Stamparatus, not Stamparatus. If you have a Stamparatus, it's great. You can use that too. So this is here, and then I just kind of thought I wanted, no, I think that's okay. I'm going to leave it. Do I want to put this in this corner? No, I think that's good. All right, so I'm going to grab my brushes because they still have a bit of color in them. And I'm just going to lightly, whoopsie, add just a bit of color kind of like not a lot of color. Just to give a bit of color here, like that. And then with my green, I'm gonna come in and do just like that. Kind of like a little pastel. Isn't that pretty? And it just gives it a little bit of color because I like to finish the inside of my cards too. Okay, I'm going to close my gray granite and I'm going to clean. I just have water in here. I just got this bottle at, where did I get this? At a beauty supply, I think Sally's Beauty Supply. And I like the fact that when it sprays, it's just a little mist. So you don't have a big saturation pool. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. And I've got my, what does it say? Grateful for You. Now I can feel it's not very sticky. I'm going to give it a little clean with water. Don't use alcohol. Where's my cloth here? Just to get the lint, and I can actually feel the lint rolling into a little lint ball. There, a little bit cleaner. Grateful for You. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape on here to hold it again. So grateful for you. I think I'll put right here. Okay, and I'm going to pick that up with my platform. Now, what I have over here is I just have some acetate, and it's even frosted. It's not even like clear acetate, but what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to lay it right here. I wonder if this will hold it, hopefully. Hold it down. So that's just acetate that I'm stamping on, and I'm going to stamp. I'm going to use, you know what? I was going to use black. I'm going to use the gray granite again. Just because it's such a soft card that I want to keep it that way. So gray granite. And then I'm going to stamp on my acetate to see if it's straight. And believe it or not, it's pretty straight. All right, so I'm going to wipe that off and get my acetate out of the way. So this is just a piece of scrap acetate that I had from the packaging of some kind, and I put some washi tape so that it's easy to find. And I have a few of them. Like I have a big one, I have a medium one, and then I have a little tiny one. And it's just window sheet from something or other that I've cut into little pieces, and then I just use it to stamp on to test. Because, you know, if you're crooked, even if I'm crooked a little bit, it really bugs me. So I test stamp it first. And then if it's straight, I'm good to go. And if it's not, I clean the stamp, reposition it, and do it again. Grateful for You. Let's give it another. Beautiful. I love that. All right. Okay. Oh, that is so pretty. All right, we don't need this anymore. I need my basic black piece, which I think is this one. Nope. Is it this one? Yep. Okay, so let's glue this. Maybe not. Grab another one. There we go. Okie doke. So I'm going to pop that right in there. And a little something there. I'll grab my little sand eraser. There. Clean as a whistle. How pretty. Oof, love it. Okay, and then this is going to go right in here like this. Beautiful. There. Isn't that pretty? And I really like the black. I wish you could see the shine on the black embossed that I embossed with the clear. It doesn't really show. Oh yeah, there you go. But it just makes it so much, I don't know, special. So much more special with the black embossing. And I did it with the clear because I don't like having those black freckles all over the place. So that's my card for today. Don't forget, 15th to 17th of April, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you get double rewards. And if you place a $50 order with me between now and Saturday, I will send you a kit for this. Now, I won't be able to send you anything stamped, but if you have a stamp, you can still do the technique, right? Using stamps and like any kind of big floral or whatever that you have. But I will send you a kit. And if you spend $100 or more, I will include the kit, a package of embellishments. Maybe I have 3 of these. I might send you one of these. Even though I covet the black, I would give it up for you. I only have 3 though. So, and then also if you spend $100, you will get double reward points between Wednesday and Friday. So 20% rewards. And you can purchase the product of the month. But yeah, and you can get that for $5 as well. So if you need any help getting your opted in for your points and stuff, don't hesitate to give me a quick email at crittersinc@gmail.com, and I'd be more than happy to help you set up an account if you don't have one. Now, if you do have a demonstrator, obviously go through your own demonstrator, but if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be more than happy to get you on board here and help you out. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.